Okay, so welcome everyone. It looks like we have 6 people watching tonight. So I'm just going to start out, we're just going to talk about everything square tonight and kind of just everything you'd ever want to know. How do you square for like inventory tracking? I'm going to show you how to upload the Excel sheet that uploads all of Synergent's inventory into your square, and just show you some really awesome tricks on how to use it that you probably wouldn't know are there unless you were looking for them. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to upload the sheet. So I believe I uploaded it into our files here. Let me double check. Yes, okay. So in Big Sky Beauties, under our files, it's this one right here that says copy of all Synergent's products for Square. So you would just click on it and then it should download, and you're going to want to save it to your computer. Now, I have had people who have Apple have troubles with this, so I'm going to try and see if I can upload an Apple version too, or a Mac version, I mean, because I think it has to be a little bit different. But when you upload it into Square, it has to be a CSV file. So once you download it, it's going to come up in Excel, and it's going to look like this. Minimize this here for a sec. And just so you can see a little bit better, I'm going to open this up here. It's going to come up without tax in it. All of this field has to be blank. This is your item description part right here. So it's going to have like what color it is, or you know, shadow sense, what shadow sense it is, all that. There's nothing in the description field. You can certainly add something there if you want to, but
Holly, are you actually showing us something right now?
Yeah, can you not see it?
It's just a gray square.
Oh, sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, so this is what it's going to come up in Excel, and it's going to look like this. And so you just need to make sure the new form I uploaded is in the correct format. I know there's a bunch of forms floating around like on the other groups that aren't in the correct format, and so when you upload them, they won't show correctly, and you'll get a big error when you try to download them into Square. This is the one you want to use because I spent the time to redo everything in the new format that Square is asking that you have. So if you want to, you can change and add tax in this last cell right here, but I'm going to show you a way to avoid having to do that. The only thing you want to do is, so once you download it to your computer, you're going to save it, and you just want to make sure you can see this screen, right, Glia?
Yes.
Okay. You just want to make sure that when you save it to your computer, it is showing that it's in a CSV file just like this. And it's going to, when you save it, it's going to say, that's me if I want to replace it. But when you do it, it'll give you this screen that says, do you want to keep using this format? And you say yes. So then once you do that, then you're going to go into your Square dashboard, and you're going to sign in, and under items, you'll click on items and you're going to hit import. And if you have items in there already, like maybe you've entered a couple of them, you may want to just hit replace so that you're downloading the whole thing and you don't have double items. If I was going to update existing ones, like if I had done something in the Excel sheet and I wanted to update it, then I would, you know, choose that one. And then you would just drag and drop it from your computer, click on that file, and I'll show you what that screen looks like. Hit upload, and then this screen is going to come up. If there is a error on the form, you'll get a big red box up here up top that says, it'll usually tell you what's wrong with it. You should not have any problems with this form because I messed with it to make sure it's correct. So then you would hit confirm and it'll upload it. I'm not going to upload it because I already did it into my Square, but that's what you would do. And then next, I want to show you how to track inventory. Out of the screen. So under items, so it should be under all inventory, And so this is going to show you every item. Once it's uploaded, this screen will come up. And then what you'll want to do is, if you want to keep track of your inventory, you would click on the item. Let me find one that hasn't been enabled yet, and I'll show you. Let's see. So you click on the item, and you would choose, let's see. Oh, I've enabled all these. Hold on 1 minute. I just want to show you this. Come on. Oh, sorry. Okay, so under inventory, you click on your business and then you hit start tracking item inventory. And so then you can choose, you can enter how many you have in stock. And this is the cool thing. This is the alert. And you can set this to alert you when you are either low on something or out of stock. So like, for instance, if you are out of stock and you want it to alert you at 0, then you would hit that, and then it's going to show you right here that you're out. So the cool thing is when you go to, like, let's say order every month, you can go to like low stock and it's going to show you what you're low on. You can go to out of stock and it's going to show you what you have out. So it makes it really easy when you're ordering, because you don't have to try and guess what you need or go through your whole stock to try and figure out what you need. So that's a really cool way to keep track of your inventory. So then, let's see, you can modify your categories. This is, so when you pull it up on your phone or your iPad or whatever, there's categories, which makes it easier to search for an item. So like, for instance, if you are checking, if somebody's choosing the lip sense color, you click on that and then just the lip sense colors would come up, or like just the Senoderm skincare or whatever. So that makes them easier to find. This is another cool thing. It's called discounts. So like, let's say you are doing a Black Friday sale and you want to be able to add a discount to the person's, when they're checking out. So you would enter whatever you want this discount to be called, and then you enter like the amount, or you can enter like a dollar amount, like if it's, for instance, like $5 off your order or whatever. And then this is going to show up in your screen when you're checking out, and you can click on that item and then add the discount. So that makes that kind of cool for like sales or different things that you're doing. Now, if you live in a state where you need tax, you would be able to, this is the screen where you're going to enable the tax. And so you'd hit create a tax. For instance, like let's say you're in Nevada, you put Nevada sales tax, the amount, and then you would choose to either add tax to the item price or include tax in the item price. I would suggest doing this one just so you can see the difference between how, like for instance, when you're trying to do your taxes at the end of the year, in the reports that you print, it'll show you the tax separately from the item. So I strongly suggest doing that one. And then you just need to make sure that this is enabled. And so that will show on all your items when you're checking out your customers. Let's see. And then, the other cool thing you can do, which I can show you here, is if you want to be able to see, like when you're on your phone. Oh, come on, let's show. You can add pictures right here of the item. So it's kind of cool when you're checking out. I'll show you on the iPad in a little bit what that looks like. It makes it easier to find stuff, I think. It does take time to go in and upload a picture for each of them, but I kind of like the way it looks. I think it makes it easier too. And then, so under, one other thing here, under account settings, let's see. So I was going to show you, one thing I would suggest doing is going in here and modifying this receipt section. This is what it's going to show, like when, let's say, like when you check someone out with a Square and it asks if you want them to email them a receipt or text them a receipt or something like that. If you go in and you modify this screen, you can enter like your information. This will show what your receipt will look like when the customer gets it. So if you don't do this stuff in here, there won't be a picture, it won't say who the receipt's from, all that kind of stuff. So strongly suggest going in there and doing that. And one other thing that's kind of cool is in this screen, if you go in and you fill this out, and Square will send you a sticker sheet and like it's like a display kind of a thing that you can put like out when you do vendor events or different things, and it shows that you you have Square and you take credit cards. So that's kind of cool. That's free if you go in there and fill that out. Then, okay, now I'm gonna see if I can bring up my iPad because I wanted to show you some things on there. Does anybody have any questions real quick while I do this? Oh, the one other thing, if you look over here, when you are signing up your girls, I strongly suggest always giving them your link so you can get the $1,000 in free processing and they can get the $1,000 in free processing. I mean, it shows I have $930 left right now, but I have literally, at one point I had like $5,000 in free processing. So it really is helpful for you and for your girls because then you're not paying the fee, because Square does charge 2.75% per transaction if you don't have free processing. So it's really helpful. My iPad doesn't want to work. Let's see here. Bear with me here, ladies, sorry. Okay, no questions? I just had to restart my iPad. I'm almost ready. One other thing I was going to tell you about, I'll just tell you while I'm waiting for this, is there's something called a cash drawer, and this is kind of cool for when you're doing vendor events. I'll show you here in a second, but let's say you go to an event and you have cash that you're bringing on hand to start, so you want to be able to give people cash. The way to keep track of it in your drawer is you're going to be able to start a cash drawer, and then you can enter what you're starting with, and that way you can keep track of what you brought versus your sales, and then that makes it easier to keep track of, especially if you have like people who are doing vendor events together. Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Okay, you guys see that now? See my iPad screen? Okay, so this is, so you can see how I've entered all the pictures, which I feel like it makes it easier to see. But also what's really cool is right here where this one is at, you can create what they call a grid. I'll show you how to do that. Come on. There we go, sorry. It's under items. So then if you go up here to set up item grid, then you can add items that you want to add to your grid. So like for instance, I can choose the lip sense. So these would be items that you sell the most of, or for instance, if these are the only things you have on stock, you could put them in the screen. And then you would choose, oh, oops, I did that wrong, sorry. So you'd add the item like that, and then what it does is it adds it to the screen, and then in this screen right here, get out of here. under here, then you have all the items there and you can just click on them and add them to your cart like this. And then the other cool thing you can do is if you want to send a customer an invoice. So like, let's say for instance, they order from you on Facebook or message you and say, hey, I want this. Can I pay with a card? You would go in here, you'd add the items to your cart, and then you would go down to invoice, and then you'd have to choose your customer. If they aren't already in your system, then you'd have to create customer and add their information. If they are already in your system, you would just click on them, and then, you know, obviously I'm not gonna edit their information, but I would add that to invoice, and then I can choose whether I want to send it immediately or whether it's due upon receipt, and then I just hit send, and it's going to send the invoice to them, and then you can see I got an email saying the invoice was sent to myself. But then the other cool thing is you'll also get an email telling you when they paid it, and you can view your invoices that, you know, say have are unpaid or paid. The other thing I was going to show you, so the other cool thing is if you do the inventory tracking, Square sends you a email every day, and they tell you what you're low on and what you're out of stock on, which is kind of cool. You can change the settings in the Square back office so that you don't get those emails every day. If you don't want, you can get a monthly email or whenever.
Hey, Holly.
Yeah.
When you're invoicing, what kind of options do they get to pay with? Just any kind of credit card?
So that was what I was going to show you here too. So with invoicing, yes, they do have to pay with a card if you're sending them an invoice, because they're paying kind of like online sort of.
Right.
Now, if you're in person, they have a lot of different options. So like, I'll show you here. So this screen's going to come up, and you can choose, like, let's say, okay, so you're charging this person $50 and they give you 60. You can click on $60, and that's the cash option right there, and then it tells you how much change to give them back. You can also, you can enter their card information or swipe their card. Now, if you do gift cards, this is something you would obviously have to keep track of. Square does have a gift card option, but they charge you like $1 per card for their cards, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. But you like can write gift card numbers on yours and keep like a sheet where you keep track of them, and you can use a gift card. And then I think you can actually keep track of customers' gift cards too, or this is where you keep track of customers' cards on file. But then you can also do other payment method, and then if they are paying with a check, you hit check, and then you just hit tender, and then it would show that they paid with a check, and then obviously you have the choice to text or email a receipt. You can also do gift cards or other. Now, this is the gift card I would choose if you're doing your own gift cards and not using Square's gift cards, because I believe when they do theirs, which is this option right here, they actually have gift card numbers, and it keeps track of it all in your back office of Square. And then down here, obviously, be where you can invoice them at. You can also split a sale. So like, let's say someone wants to give you cash and check, you can hit split, and you can, you know, choose each specific option of how they're paying. So it's pretty nice because you can keep track of all of that.
Does it look the same on your iPad as it does on your phone?
This is my iPad, so like on your phone, it's just going to be a little bit smaller. Like this, I don't think you have the grid option on your phone. I think it looks just like this on your phone is what it's going to look like, I believe.
Okay.
And so this is, you can see I uploaded all those pictures. And then, let's see. I was going to show you also. So in reports, this is where, so I already have a cash drawer open, but what you can do is, like, for instance, let's say we're doing a vendor event, and we say, whoops. And then you can say, you know, you can put your starting cash in, and then at the end of the day, you can see how much you collected that specific day or in that drawer. Here. So it's kind of nice because you can keep track of like cash that you take with you. And then you can also do a drawer history, and this is the cool part. So in your sales, and you can do this in your Square back office too, but you can keep track of all your sales, and you can run reports. So I like this better on the Square back office, and I'll show you why. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta move this. So under sales, you can see that, right? The Square back office, I have that up correctly, I'm hoping. So what's cool is you can choose by month or by day. You can run it by time, but I like this because I can see how much I did last month in sales. What's cool is at the end of the year, you can also go in and run a report and do this year. And then you can see how much you've done total for the year. And it's nice for people who live in states where you have sales tax, because you can see exactly what that is for your taxes. You can see gift card sales. Obviously, you can see how much cash you've taken. I mean, it's really helpful for the end of the year. So if you're running everything through your Square, it is going to make it so easy for you when you go to do taxes, or when you need to see, you know, how much you paid or whatever. So let's see. And then, oh, there's one other thing here I want to show you. On my iPad again. Okay, so a really cool thing is you can keep track of your customers. I haven't done this yet, but I think that's really cool. So let's say you're at a party, or you're at an event, or a vendor event, or whatever. You run into people, they don't necessarily want to buy something from you at that time, or you want to be able to contact them in the future, or even add them to your Senegence email list. You can go in here and you can create a customer. You can enter all their information. I mean, you can even enter, there's like a spot for their birthday, you know, all this. And that way, later on after your event, you can take this information, you can go and enter it into the Senegence back office. You can, you know, be sending these people the emails that they send out every month. You can use this to, you know, make notes about the person, like, oh, this person was interested in signing up, you know, like this in the business. And so you can call them later afterwards or whatever. So it's kind of cool because it's a great way to keep track of everyone. And I know a lot of times that you may run into someone and, you know, you just don't get their information, but you always have your phone on you. You can enter it in here and you can take notes and keep track of who they are. So I think that's a really great feature. And let's see.
Holly, where is that at?
So it's under, it's just on the side right here, and it's under customers right here. Oh, and then you just, and you can,
okay.
You can see people's phone numbers or their emails, if you have a bunch of them up, obviously. But you would just hit create a customer and then enter their information.
Okay.
Right here. And then, so there's, I mean, you can look at like reports on your phone or your iPad. You would just have to run them. Like, I believe you go to custom and then you can enter the dates you want to run. It's like, for instance, I did this search before when I was messing around with it, and it'll show you like what I did between these dates. You can do a daily report. So like, I didn't make any sales yesterday, but I think I had on Saturday. Yeah, so it'd show me what I did Saturday or whatnot. And you just click on this little button up here and it pulls up the screen and you can customize it, or you can choose a daily report.
I don't have reports on my phone.
Is it when you pull up the screen, this part, black part right here, do you see it?
Mm-mm.
So it must only be available on the iPad, I'm guessing. I can edit all kinds of things. I can edit the items. I can go to settings. I believe you should have activity on your phone, right?
Yeah, I do.
That also is kind of the same thing. It'll show you by day what you've done in sales. And then, yeah, I just think there's a couple of other options in the iPad screen, which I actually really prefer the iPad. I think it's better. I mean, but obviously we all don't always carry your iPad around with us. But so, and then you can also just, you know, if you don't want to keep track of your sales, you can just manually enter an item and then, you know, charge. But that's about it for that. And I think, let's see here. There's a couple of other different things you can do, but most of them are for like if you're doing big time business. So you can also, you know, if you're first signing up, Square will send you a free strip reader. So if you just go to their website, go to square.com, sign up for an account, then you go to this order a reader screen. They send you one for free in the mail. They also have the chip reader. I believe that one costs like $40 though. So unless you're really worried about that, you know, that's more for if you're doing a lot of business. But the biggest thing I can say is push that, getting that free processing. Make sure that every person you're signing up, you're giving them that link so you can get the free processing. It saves you a lot of money. And I think that's about it. If you have any problems uploading this form, let me know. Just message me. There are a couple of girls that what I've done for them, and if you're comfortable with this, is I've just logged into their Square back office for them and just uploaded it, because there was a couple people like on the project page who were just having problems and they were so frustrated, so I just did it for them. So if you can't figure it out or if you need help, let me know. I am going to try to figure out how to upload a Mac version of this, because I think there is a way to do it. And then also, I probably will be uploading a second form that's going to have all of the LipSense collections on it, because right now, as of now, it's not on this form. So you would have to.
Hey, Holly.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt you for a second? I have to leave really quick because we have an emergency. So, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to hop off really quick.
Okay.
But it's not because I don't love you, and I super appreciate you for doing this.
It's okay. I'm actually pretty much done. So you can
Okay.
go. So.
I just wanted to let you know what was going on. My phone rang and I had to answer it. So, but
Okay.
hi, everybody. I love you, and thank you for doing this, Holly.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I'd be glad to answer if you have any questions. No? Okay. Well, just let me know if you have any problems getting that uploaded. I'm happy to help. And like I said, I will be uploading a second form that has all the LipSense collections on it. So like, for instance, right now, when you are checking out, you'd have to enter like the LipSense color and then the gloss separately. But once I get that, you can upload the form and then you can just click on the collection, like, you know, blue, red plus the gloss and then color or whatever. So, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I know it isn't like tons of information. It wasn't very long, but there was a few people asking questions, so I figured we might as well just make a video or do a meeting. So thanks for joining us, ladies, and I hope you have a good night. Oh. Let's see here.